Yo. Oh, fuck. Of course I can't. Fucking YouTube. What's up, guys? Earlier than I expected, my Star Wars Expanded Universe live stream is here. Please don't bring up politics for this particular video, considering this. I just want to talk about Star Wars related topics. Yeah, so do me a favor and don't bring up politics. Anyway, what am I going to talk about this time? I don't know. Various Star Wars topics, the expanded universe, maybe the new canon, what we should do in the future. I don't know. There may be multiple topics. I just need to look at the comment section and see. Okay, there's nothing so far. Huh. One thing I think I'm really glad is I have the freedom to say what I want now due to the fact I'm not a part of a certain Facebook group anymore. But I'm not going to get into that. All right. Hopefully, people will just come. I know it's sudden. It's later than I originally planned to do, but whatever. Who knows? My comrade B level may end up putting a segment from this on Ewoks Unhinged, depending on what the topic is. Anyway, I think the thing I'm going to talk about is my issue with the expanded universe community at this point is I feel like we're not really pushing for more Star Wars content. It feels like after we got Marvel 108, it feels like our community has just become complacent. It's like, come on, guys. We got one comic. And that doesn't really mean anything. We have to push for a 109. Hey, Avalon. We have to push for Sword of the Jedi. We have to continue pushing. We can't just be complacent on, getting one new comic. We have to push for more. 2019 is a critical year for Star Wars. And I mean that really. I mean it's critical that, we push these things. And this is going to surprise you, but I don't advocate a boycott for episode 9, nor do I advocate supporting it either. Because boycotts are pointless, and boycotts have not really done anything but hurt, our cause, pushing for something like that. I think we need to continue pushing for new Star Wars expanded universe stories, and we shouldn't just be satisfied with issue 108, because issue 108 is just one comic. And that's something that could easily be disregarded. It isn't like Sword of the Jedi, which is something that those who follow the post-Return of the Jedi timeline want. I want a conclusion to those stories. Marvel 108 is just in a different era of Star Wars comics, and I'd rather have more in the eras that I care about. It's a start, but I think we need to start pushing for more. It's sold well. I did some research. It did sell well at Marvel 108, which of course it's going to. It's Star Wars, and I think we need to, start pushing for more. I know I said this already. It's just we're at a point where if Star Wars doesn't, Star Wars is not in a good place right now, and Marvel 108 is not something we should just be satisfied with, because we could potentially lose what we love of Star Wars because of the current state. I'm gonna be real regarding, the Last Jedi. It was a fluke, honestly. At least that's how Disney sees it. Same thing with Solo. Of course, The Last Jedi, they don't see it as a failure, but it is. Fucking car. We can't, root for the failure of Disney like we've done before. I have, unfortunately, because Disney unfortunately owns Star Wars, and if it doesn't do well under Disney, then there's no chance for Legends to continue anyway, regardless. And this is one thing I think we need to do is I do think we need to also push. We don't have to buy these, but I think we need to push for Disney as well. And for those, I'm more speaking for those who read the new canon and Legends, to produce better content for the canon as well. Because if canon, if they continue to release, guard for that, they'll do it for the EU as well. We got to demand quality from both. We can't have one be better than the other. They both have to be, good. Because, if they're not going to try for a canon story with how they recognize as canon, they're not going to do it for the EU either. And that's why I think we need to push for more. Now, I'm surprised. Jesus, this is like the most empty live stream so far. What the hell is going on? It's most likely probably because, it's Star Wars and it's not about politics this time. Oh well. It's a huge improvement over tracking literal you-know-what. Don't be shy. For those who are there, make a comment. This is a live stream after all. Oh crap. If only I would prefer to do this on my computer, but it's the easiest doing on my phone, which is why I'm doing it on my phone. What other things am I going to talk about? Yeah. I'm sorry for, Marvel. Shit. This is not the most comfortable spot. I'm sorry that Marvel 108. I did not get reviewed like I originally intended because of things happen. And I didn't realize it took place after, Marvel 107. So, yeah, that's why I haven't reviewed it yet. Jesus, I fucking hate this friggin'. Yeah, man, there isn't any. This is a dead stream. It feels like. Oh, of course I do. Of course I play video games. Not as much as I used to, but I play video games. Oh my god, it's fucking shit. I'm sweating. Yeah, I don't know if I could talk about Star Wars for an hour, but hell, it could be the main topic. I play video games, yeah. Nope. I don't play Assassin's Creed. I do have one of them on my Xbox One, but I haven't played it yet. Because I have like a huge catalog of games. You know one thing that really sucks, since this is a Star Wars related video and someone brought up video games. We haven't had a really good Star Wars video game in a long time. And I mean, okay, and I'm going to be up front. I didn't think The Force Unleashed was that great, honestly, as a game. I know this is something that's, I don't know if a lot of Star Wars fan would agree with me, but I thought The Force Unleashed was mediocre. And I wasn't a big fan of the story either. It's just the combat just felt very clunky, and not to mention the lightsaber combat didn't really feel right. I mean, Jedi Academy, which came out like 4 years prior, the lightsaber combat felt more realistic than The Force Unleashed, despite it having weaker hardware. I understand you love the characters. I'm not a big fan of the game, honestly. I mean, I felt if LucasArts focused more on making one good version of the game and not wasted so many resources on, making it so it's playable on everything, the PSP, DS, the Wii, the PS2, I felt like they should have just focused exclusively on the Xbox 360 and PS3. I feel like we could have had a more polished game if they focused their resources only on those two versions. Because it's such a waste. The combat did have potential in The Force Unleashed. It's just I felt like it was really clunky for me. Honestly, that's just my take on it. And Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, it just looks like another generic action game. It doesn't look like something that, oh, this is a Star Wars game that I would want to play. I mean, the lightsaber combat just doesn't, you know, what kind of Star Wars game where you use a lightsaber? That's the Pacific, when you're using a lightsaber as one of the mechanics and you can't cut off limbs. It's ridiculous. I know Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, when you use lightsabers, you don't cut people to pieces, but that was an RPG. That's different than a game that specifically focuses on lightsaber combat. And I just think that it's, not really, going to be that good of a game. It just looks like another generic action game. And knowing EA, it's going to be trash. I would really like another good Star Wars game. I really would, but with EA having the license, it'll never happen. It was a mistake to give Star Wars to EA. Fuck that company. The Battlefront games, oh my god. They're better than the Battlefield games, what I've heard from people that have played the Battlefront games, because, Battlefield 4 and 5, I heard, are fucking awful. I don't really care, honestly, because I've never been a fan of Shrek, honestly. I think Hollywood needs to stop rebooting franchises and come up with their own ideas for once. That's my thought. I think they should stop rebooting franchises. I know it's just there's so many possibilities for Star Wars video games that I feel like it's been wasted in the past, 12 years or so. I mean, think about this. From 1996 through 2006, we've had so many different kinds of Star Wars games in various different genres that even if some of them did suck, you still had a variety of gameplay experience. We had a flight sim game for the Rogue Squadron series, a lightsaber combat style game with the Dark Forces 2, Jedi Outcast, and Jedi Academy. We had an RPG with Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. We had an MMO with Star Wars Galaxies. We had, a pretty good movie license game, considering, with Revenge of the Sith. We've had, a great strategy strategy game in, Star Wars. Fuck, what is that called? Empire at War. And Galactic Battlegrounds. Even though I think Empire at War was better, considering how it felt more like a huge galactic conquest. The TCW isn't going to be done anytime soon. Actually, it's a huge podcast, and I would need General and Iron Inquisitor and along everyone else to do it. It's going to be as long as the prequels. I can't give a date when they're coming out. I'm sorry. So I can't. That's the answer to your question. Even though, okay, oh yeah, Republic Commando, we got that for a first-person shooters. It's like we had Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2. It's like we had so many great Star Wars games with great gameplay experiences. I felt like once the PS3 and 360 came out, we barely got any Star Wars games that wasn't TCW related trash. The Force Unleashed I feel like was the start of this era of Star Wars games that we're currently in, where I felt like they stopped being creative with the license. And don't get me wrong, okay, I'm probably going to answer this person's question. I hate button mashing. It's not that I hate button mashing. I love God of War, the first one and the second one, and their button mashers. It's just I felt like The Force Unleashed needed more time in the oven in order for it to reach its full potential. I felt like LucasArts rushed it. In some ways, I think the second one is actually a more polished game than the first, but that's has its problems too because it was shipped unfinished. So we have one game that was not as polished as its unfinished sequel that's technically better because it's more complete, and then we have the incomplete sequel that is better from in various different ways, yet it is an incomplete game. So yeah, I do like great stories. That's why KOTOR 2 is my favorite Star Wars game ever made. It was The Last Jedi done right. I felt like, I replayed it so many times that holy crap. Everything about the first game in KOTOR 2 was better, even in its incomplete state. Shit. Sorry, I don't know what the hell happened. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, I just cut off. I don't know. That was my internet. Anyway, from its, the KOTOR 2 improved everything, like the combat system, the dialogue trees. There's so many, different choices you could do in KOTOR 2 that there was a lot more replayability with that one than the first one. And that's the kind of Star Wars game I like. I would love to see another Star Wars game done that way, but it will never happen with EA. And I don't know if I would trust any game company to do a Star Wars game now. I mean, Bethesda 10 years ago would have been a great choice to do a Star Wars game because of their Fallout series. I'm talking about since Fallout 3. But Bethesda's shit too. There isn't a single developer I would trust with a Star Wars game. Maybe on Project CD Red, but they're not going to do a Star Wars game because of freaking EA. So yeah, it kind of sucks that the state of Star Wars games is rather grim. That Fallen Order could determine the fate of Star Wars games for decades to come, and it may break or it could save or kill Star Wars games because freaking what happens if that game fails? What Star Wars game are we gonna get? More Battleship games and fucking mobile games? That's what fucking the future of Star Wars games look like if Fallen Order fails. That's why I fucking hate EA. Because knowing EA, if it flops, they will fucking kill any future Star Wars projects that just exclusively make mobile and fucking Battlefront games. That's what pisses me off the most about about Disney. They know nothing about video games. They didn't even research it, even though the gaming industry is technically bigger than the film industry at this point. And they fucking give EA of all companies freaking the fucking rights. It's fucking bullshit. I fucking hate EA. I fucking hate EA. I fucking hate EA. I know I've said it multiple times, but I cannot say enough how much I fucking hate EA. They pretty much killed Star Wars games. They pretty much have. Any potential for any future Star Wars games is gone. I mean, with the hardware that we have now, we can make Star Wars games that are better than what we had 16 ago. We have better hardware now. We could do a Knights of the Old Republic today that would make the original look, small by comparison. We could do open world games, massive open world games, and still have a great looking game. We could do this now with the hardware. With the PS5 and whatever the hell Microsoft's calling the next Xbox, we can do these things now. We could do a fucking Rogue Squadron game and have the flight mechanics feel more realistic. We have all of this crap available to us. And Star Wars hasn't took advantage of this because EA are the fucking ones that fucking have the license. They have the final say of what gets made and what doesn't. Fucking. their fucking first of many mistakes is fucking killing LucasArts. But I don't know. We live in the worst timeline. I'm gonna answer questions. Let's see. Worst expanded universe book. Oh God, that's a hard one. I'm tempted to say the Crystal Star, but to be honest, I actually think the worst Star Wars book is definitely. Holy crap! I don't know. I don't know if I should say this. I think the worst Star Wars book, the expanded universe book, and this is just my opinion. I think, in my opinion, it is definitely Splinter of Mind's Eye or The Approaching Storm. Both really boring books, and written by an author that I just can't fucking. I don't really like. I think everything Alan Dean Foster touches is completely forgettable, and I do not want to read anything that he writes because I don't like his writing style. It's fucking atrocious. That, if you're wondering, those two, it's a choice between those two books. The Crystal Star is so bad that you could fucking laugh at how it is. It's a guilty pleasure. Those two books are just boring. I can't. As for you, Avalon, regarding the OT special editions, you're gonna have to ask General CG. He knows more than I do. Oh yeah, everyone. EA is clueless about video games. You're damn right. Everybody hates EA. I don't know about everybody. They have fanboys, believe it or not. Inferno Squad was a bad game, but I still like. Yeah. Okay. Considering that this is a Star Wars related video, it's just I just can't help but recall of how great Star Wars games used to be. Star Wars was like the pinnacle of movie license games. Like, if it had Star Wars attached to it, it had a chance to be good. I mean, Star Wars has some of the best video games ever, and they could be enjoyed even as a game on its own, like Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2. Star Wars Battlefront could be enjoyed as its own game. Fucking the Super SNES Star Wars games could have been enjoyed as games on their own. And fucking Jedi Academy. So many fucking great games that have been released over the years. And fuck, EA fucking just ruined it. Same thing with Disney. They fucking ruined any chance of any future Star Wars games to be good. I mean, if Battleship EA didn't have Star Wars name on it, would anyone even bother fucking playing it? No. Knights of the Old Republic, there was non-Star Wars fans that fucking loved it. It's like this, a great game is if it has a license tied to a movie, even those who aren't a fan of it could enjoy it. Oh my god. See, it's really. Oh yeah, fuck Activision. I will fucking forever hate Activision. They have ruined any chance, and I'm as big of a TMNT fan as I am Star Wars, of any good Ninja Turtles games ever coming out again. We haven't had a good Ninja Turtles game in over, it feels like 30 years at this point that we've had a good Ninja Turtles game. It's the only good Ninja Turtles game that's out right now are fucking fan-made ones because the fucking official ones are garbage. I mean, seriously, they're fucking garbage. I mean, the Manhattan Project, which was done by Platinum Games, it was made by one of the best developers, yet it still sucked because of fucking Activision. Yes, it had a great looking art style because, they used shell shading and it looked like in the style of the IDW comics, but the thing that they did is they had a fucking open world fucking system in the game. When you go from one place to another, it was difficult to get to because they had no fucking map. It was awful. And don't get me started on coming out of their shadows. Where the fuck they call that glitchy fucking piece of shit game that came out in 2004 and 13 that fucking PS3 owners like myself had to fucking wait like almost 6 months later, claiming, oh, we're releasing it 6 months later because we want to release the best version possible, even though the PS3 version was a fucking glitchy mess too, just like the 360 version. Ugh. Fuck Activision. They ruin everything they touch. Fuck, and if they had Star Wars, holy shit. Oh wait, they did do a Star Wars game once. It was Jedi Academy. Go figure. One of the best Star Wars games ever made was fucking made by Activision. But then again, that was a different time. Oh yeah, Rocksteady and a Somniac fucking Team Ninja Turtles game would be amazing. The kind of Ninja Turtles game I wanted was one in the style of Batman Arkham Asylum. That's what I wanted. Where it takes full advantage of the turtles, abilities as ninjas and going through stealth sections where you had to sneak, past foot soldiers to get past obstacles. The most fun segments of Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City were the stealth segments because it felt like you were being Batman. It felt like you were a ninja. And with Ninja Turtles, that would have been amazing, but of course not. The franchise has been cursed with shitty video games, since fucking Ubisoft got the license for it. Yeah, I've already accepted that there will not be a good TMNT game again. I don't really like Ubisoft, but then again, it's my reasons is kind of petty. My reasoning for hating Ubisoft is because they added the Rabbids to what should have been a great anniversary Ninja Turtles game. They added the fucking Rabbids instead of any other fucking character. Yeah, TMNT Smash Up was one of those games that I have mixed feelings for. I think it's a fun game to play, but I hated the fucking Rabbids in there. I can't comment on it. I take your word for it. Oh, TMNT versus Batman movie. I thought it was great, though. This is one of the rare occasions. I actually thought the movie was better than the comic. Because one thing that disappointed me about the comic book of of Batman and TMNT, the volume 1, was when we saw all Batman's, rogue gallery get mutated, we never got to see any of them interact with any of the turtles, and that was disappointing to me. The movie rectified all the problems with it. Even though I enjoyed the comic too, Batman vs. TMNT I felt was great. I felt like all the Easter eggs for Batman and Ninja Turtles and the ending credits where it showed Batman comics and TMNT comics with each other on their covers was awesome. It was a great movie in my opinion. I loved it as a TMNT fan. It was quite enjoyable. And it exceeded the comic in many ways. Let's see. Activision is even worse than EA. EA is like Saint compared to Activision. Probably. Oh, good. Fuck. Activision needs to fucking die. So does EA. Disney doesn't care, Avalon. And I keep saying this. Disney cares about one thing and one thing only. Money. Though EA is fighting legal battles about this, you know, loot box controversy, and I think EA is going to lose in the end. They are. Because fucking children are being targeted for these fucking microtransactions, and children are vulnerable. And people with gambling addictions or any kind of addictions in general, I suggest you watch Jim Sterling's video on the subject. The Legend of Zelda series is great. One of my favorite video game series of all time. I think every time a new Zelda game gets released, I'm excited for it. Activision and Michael Bay are definitely comparable. I haven't seen Bumblebee yet. I do intend to in the future. I'd rather have anyone fucking. I'd rather have fucking Star Wars not have an exclusive license and let other developers do a take on it. I wanted. I had an idea for Square Enix to do a Star Wars game, but after fucking the Avengers game that we saw, it's like, I don't know if I want not Activision, Square Enix doing it. Square Enix is essentially the fucking EA of Japan, pretty much. Already know about the Lion King remake. I can't comment. Honestly, when I saw the remake, it looks like a cartoon. The CG looks so fake. Honestly. My favorite Zelda game is Majora's Mask. I love Majora's Mask for its story and its atmosphere. Honestly. And I've replayed that game more than any Zelda to this day. I cannot comment on the Mario movie. I have to see a trailer. Honestly, Lion King didn't need a remake. I mean, a CGI remake would have been better than what they're doing because they're just trying to mix live action with heavy. It's just the movie just doesn't look like it. None of the animals look real. Um, to answer your, I cannot pronounce your name, man, so I'm sorry, but to answer your question, what I would recommend other than the novels and Thrawn trilogy, what are you interested in? Because if you're interested in reading more stories in the post Return of the Jedi era, I'd recommend the Jedi Academy trilogy and the Corellian trilogy and Vision of the Future. I mean, not Vision of the Future, the Hannah Thrawn duology. If you're interested in the stuff that takes place before, you know, the movies, I recommend the Darth Bane trilogy. I don't know. It depends what your taste is. Star Wars only is a fucking petty little fucking asshole that can't get over the fact that someone called him out. He's a fucking stupid ass reactionary that fucking doesn't know when to shut the fuck up about something. Star Wars only is a fucking idiot. Honestly. He really is. No one will know who he is after this Disney Star Wars shit is over. Oh, Andre's still here? I don't know. To be honest, Andre is not worth our time. Andre Cedeno is fucking a small fry. He isn't worth. Almost forgot he existed before your guys brought him up. I don't really care about Maleficent. He's just irrelevant, Andre Cedeno, like Evan V. Skyver. They're all fucking irrelevant losers that don't know when to shut the fuck up about fucking everything. Andre does daily fucking videos on fucking DC, bashing Marvel. Evan V. Skyver and Geeks and Gamers do daily videos about fucking Bera Larson or some other anti SJW fucking cringe outrage videos. It's like they're fucking losers. It's funny how a channel that's usually that thinks that never mind. I'm not going to get into it that much. I can talk about this shit for almost an hour. Okay, you're interested in more of the post Return of the Jedi part of the timeline. Well, I'm trying. I recommend those stories, because it's more streamlined and it lets you avoid most of the garbage. Because the Callisto trilogy, Black Fleet Crisis, and the Crystal Star are something I would not recommend anyone to read. I don't recommend them. I'd say after just read the Jedi Academy trilogy next. That's what I would recommend, because that's at least, and go from there. That's what I would do, or just read what you're interested in. That's the only thing I can recommend. I've already gave my thoughts on Black Ariel on the last one. It's stupid. It's the outrage is stupid and dumb, and complaining about a black actress playing Ariel is ridiculous. I'm not going to talk about it again. If you want to know what my thoughts are, watch Ewoks Unhinged, and because B Level, my comrade, and I do our collaboration channel. There's a segment of that live stream on there that you can watch if you don't want to watch the whole thing. Oh, of course they'll do a Yoda movie eventually, if Episode 9 does well. Oh, Crimson Empire is great. I definitely recommend it. You didn't really recommend anything. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Oh, fuck. Okay, you didn't really miss much. I just, on general, I was just getting recommendation to one of our commenters. Yeah, Disney did butcher Yoda with The Last Jedi. They really did butcher them. Yeah, sorry, butcher him. Shit. God, I lose brain cells every time I think about The Last Jedi. It's such a horrible movie. Can't comment on that movie because I haven't seen it. Nothing much, Iron. Yeah, we do need those. We need a Kevin Feige and Lucasfilm, not hacks like Filoni who doesn't shit about the Star Wars universe. It will underperform Avalon, but it's not going to flop. Honestly, I don't advocate for it to flop completely, because if it flops, it could affect the EU chance of getting continued. As for my thoughts on the Red Stormtroopers, this is going to shock you people. I actually think they look kind of cool, honestly. Then again, red is probably my second favorite color, and I think the Sith Stormtroopers look badass. As much as I don't like the sequels, I hate them for that matter. I think the Sith, troopers look pretty cool, and people complaining about it, it's just ridiculous. Complaining Sith troopers. Like, one of the good things about the trilogy is the Sith troopers, who actually look fucking cool, and they're complaining about that. The Phantom Menace. Oh, it looks so stupid. Like, talking about realism in a fucking sci-fi universe. Like, okay, here's something that isn't realistic. Why the fuck would anyone in the military wear fucking white? They're gonna wear fucking brown or black, or any form of camouflage, depending where they are. They're not gonna. It's just so stupid. I think complaining about the Sith troopers is a dumb complaint. It's not something you would expect. It's not something. Sorry. Okay, this is a live stream. It's not something I normally praise, but I think the Sith troopers look pretty damn cool. They really do. Even though it is kind of the same as the basic design for the most part, I think red looks great for this aesthetic of the Stormtroopers. And I don't actually, hate the designs. I kind of like them. I think they look pretty cool. Honestly, it's probably the coolest looking Stormtrooper that they've had in the new canon. I have no problem with Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. Honestly, I think those who have a problem, with him, it's ridiculous how much they still complain about his acting skills, when Diz Ridley is one of the worst actors in Hollywood. Anyway, I think, to me, Hayden Christensen is Anakin Skywalker and no one else. The guy from TCW is not Anakin Skywalker. Hayden is, in my opinion. He's Anakin and no one else. I believe, in my opinion, don't take this the wrong way for if you're a fan of TCW. The other guy who voices Anakin isn't Anakin to me. Hayden Christensen is always going to be my Anakin. Because he's the Anakin I grew up with. He's the person I imagine in my head when I read any books or comics. I imagine Hayden's voice for Anakin. I don't imagine anyone else. The only other person I actually accept as Anakin is the guy who voiced him in the 2003 Clone Wars series. Jake Lloyd, I felt what happened to that poor guy was unfair. He didn't deserve what happened to him. I think what happened with Jake Lloyd was disgusting and despicable. And to this very day, those people who basically fucked his life up haven't apologized. And that they're disgusting to me. You know what they did to that kid. Now look at him. He's fucking has mental problems. He's really fucked up. All because they didn't like his role in a movie. It's really fucked up. This is one case where I'm disgusted with the fans. Same thing what they did to the guy who played Jar Jar Binks. Fuck those people. They destroyed his life. And they don't take any responsibility. Well, the Sith Troopers, just to answer, yeah, they do look cool. I would be lying if they don't look cool. I'm not just one of those people who's like, I don't like anything from this. Fuck this. That's the thing about don't get me started on the Phantom Menace fucking, having fake outrage of what happened to that actress of Morgan's. It's fucking ridiculous. They don't even realize it was fucking their people that did it. Actually, they don't fucking realize. They just don't give a shit. These people disgust me so fucking much. It's like they take advantage of any fake outrage in order to fucking garner views. They don't care about this fucking little girl. Oh wait, because fucking they run out of fucking things to bitch about for Star Wars, so now they're gonna look for other shit. It's like, this is why I don't fucking pay attention to most of what they say most of the time, because it's the same shit. If I did a fucking video responding to these idiots fucking 24/7, I'd fucking 99% of my content would be Phantom Menace related shit. And that would overtake my Star Wars reviews, so fuck that. I mean, seriously. Bullying people of any kind is not okay. Oh yeah, she definitely is. She's a fucking psychopath. No, sociopath, whatever. I know I've fucking pissed off a lot of her fanboys on Twitter for actually calling, her out on it. Here's the thing that's really funny about that situation. These people claim they're champions of free speech, yet they'll get you banned. They'll get you banned for speaking your mind. Jeremy and that Star Wars girl, I've researched how much, funerals cost. It doesn't cost more than $7,000 on average. What kind of person spends 3 hours on a live stream raising money? Or do a GoFundMe? There's no way they didn't make a fucking profit off of this. It's disgusting. I don't want to talk about this because it makes me angry. So let's move on to the next subject. I hate the Minions more. The fucking Minions are fucking awful. The fucking Minions are so fucking... They've been everywhere ever since fucking Despicable Me has come out. The Rabbids, thank God, are fucking dead, but the Minions are fucking worse than the Rabbids ever were. They were attached to everything. Fucking... Oh, fuck the fucking Minions. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. May they fucking die in a fucking fire. Fuck the Minions. As for the EU, Oh god, I still have to get through the Clone Wars timeline. Is there any way I could fucking use a time machine to fucking just be done with this fucking thing? Oh, just kill me. Kill me, please. It's it's such torture. Fuck. I'm so close to Labyrinth of Evil and I can't read it because I'm still stuck reading some shitty Clone Wars related fucking material. Oh, fuck. Reading fucking material related to the 2003 Clone Wars is going to be a fucking relief. I'm going to need psychological fucking help fucking after I'm done with this fucking shit. I'm going to need psychological help. I feel like I'm going crazy. It's so awful. Clone Wars is so fucking awful. Why did I just decide to incorporate this? Why didn't I just stick to my original instinct and skip it? Of course I didn't skip it because it's fucking because I have to read everything because I want to be different. Oh fuck. Fuck me. Fuck me. Oh. Fuck me. Seriously. Fuck me. I'm reading the second. I haven't even started the second fucking book of the Gambit duology. Where the fuck they call it? Because it's like, oh, it's more TCW. Can I just read something else? Oh God. The Clone Wars is the reason why I'm been focusing on reading other things with Star Wars at the moment because it's so torture. You have to be a masochist like me to get through this fucking timeline. So sorry, I'm just giving you an update, guys. If you're wondering why I'm still on the Clone Wars timeline, and it's what time? July? It's almost been a year since I started the fucking Clone Wars timeline. And I'm fucking in July. I'm in July. I'm in July. And I still in the Clone Wars timeline. Ah, it was a mistake to be so overly eager to review everything. It was a mistake. I should have ignored the TCW graphic novels when I saw them in that fucking store that one time. I should have ignored it. But no, I had to fucking stick my hand in Pandora's box. And now, because of that, I have to read everything because I've read most of it already. If you, every time it's why if every time I do a review on TCW related stuff, why it's a fucking rant, it's because I'm so damn angry every time I read one of those damn things. I deserve to be mocked by Matt Wilkins for fucking doing that. He was fortunate he just covered them briefly and moved on. But no, not me. How close am I finishing the TCW cringe? Well, I have Gambit to read, a second one. I have the second, third, and fourth book of Secret Missions. I have, let's see, four more comics, three web comics, and yeah, but that doesn't take into account, the Boba Fett novels, which aren't tied to TCW, but it's other stuff that I don't want to read, and the General Grievous miniseries. Yeah, I have a lot of shit to go. I'm like Frodo, who's like not even in Mount Doom yet he feels like he's already tired and wants to fucking rest. I'm like Frodo right now. I'm like fucking Frodo. Oh God. Of course he has. I'm a masochist. I deserve it. I deserve it being such an idiot. I'm such an idiot for doing that. No one can accuse me of ever blindly praising the EU again after suffering through this fucking Clone Wars fucking timeline. No one. Oh god. I'd rather read The Crystal Star than read all this TCW related shit. There, I fucking said it. At least The Crystal Star is one novel. At least the Calista trilogy is 3 novels. I had to. You would have to be a masochist to fucking go to read all the Clone Wars like I am. Thank God I skipped short stories, because if I did short stories, I'd be fucking on this shit for even longer. As it is, it may be 2020 by the time I'm done with this shit. It's like, oh God. No wonder maybe it was a good thing I saved Fate of the Jedi. Maybe it was a good thing. Oh God. Thank God I'm reviewing comic books after this. Mostly. Eventually, well, I'll have to suffer through the Calista trilogy. It'd be God compared to the fucking, TCW related stuff. At least it's 3 novels. The Gambit duology is a fucking book that could have been 2 books that could have been 1. TCW cringe. Well, if I do finish it by September, since I upload my videos ahead of time, it would still be probably till 2020. September should be the earliest I get TCW done. But the Clone Wars timeline itself will probably take a bit longer. Of course you are, Iron Inquisitor. TCW cringe. Hey, I can at least say this by the time this is over. I will have been the only Star Wars Expanded Universe YouTuber that has suffered through fucking TCW and the other parts of the Clone Wars timeline. This is why by 2020, you're probably not going to see very many reviews on the novels. It's mostly going to be comics in 2020. So, Knights of the Old Republic, Legacy, Dark Times, Empire and Rebellion. That's pretty much my main plan, and Marvel Star Wars. No, the real Marvel Star Wars, not the fan fiction crap with Darth Vader fucking, going back in time to resurrect a fucking Sith Lord, where the fuck that is. Or fucking Darth Vader fucking fighting, I think, a General Akbar looking General Grievous. Oh God. How could anyone take that seriously? I kid you not. Maybe stop reading Star Wars comics in the new canon. As soon as I saw that freaking image of a fucking Admiral Akbar with fucking General Grievous's head, I stopped reading it. I couldn't take it seriously. It's like, are you... That fucking character is a fucking meme. It's a fucking meme. Okay, come on. Okay, new canon fans. Come on, even if you like the new canon, you gotta admit, there is some fan fiction fucking material in the Darth Vader comics. Oh, God. At least you can give the comics credit for one thing. At least the Vader comics aren't crappy in terms of artwork. But then again, art doesn't make a good comic. Oh, yeah, the sequel trilogy will get its time. since they're all not out yet, we're going to do The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi this year. Rise of Skywalker will be done when it comes out on home video in 2020, considering the fact we need to have more time to actually see how the fans react to it. The only good thing that's come out of the sequels is the memes. That's the only thing that's good that's come out of it. The sequel trilogy has some funny-ass memes. I would be lying if it didn't. I think one of my favorite memes is someone did a video of Gandalf killing Snoke, and it was fucking hilarious. If you guys seen that video, you should watch it. It's fucking funny as hell. That's... I swear, I think The Last Jedi has to be one of the most memed movies in history. Can you name a single movie that's been memed as much as The Last Jedi? I mean, okay, I know. I don't. It's kind of fun to mock The Last Jedi, but it's just like there's a scene when Gandalf in a parody they replace Denethor with fucking Snoke, and Gandalf kills him at the end of the video. I would prefer if Episode 9 General was done, after it comes out on home video, so we could have a full analysis on it. Because we're going to need more time to see what defense we have to just take apart and what criticisms we need to address in further detail. So that's why we need to wait until it comes out on home video. Whenever it comes out on home video, we'll do it. Hey, is everyone excited for a, Snoke comic? Or Captain Phasma? Or Kylo Ren? Or Hux? Come on, they're releasing more comics related to the sequels that focuses on one of those characters, so you can learn something about them. Snoke is a fucking meme at this point. That's why Snoke is such a joke. He's a fucking meme. That's the only thing Snoke is at this point, is a fucking meme. I mean, Palpatine is a meme too, but he's a funny ass meme. You can use Palpatine in any situation. Snoke is a meme in itself, and considering how much of a joke he is as a villain. I can sense everything Kylo Ren does. Oh shit! I think I forgot how powerful I am. The anti-SJWs and the Phantom Menace are one of the same in my eyes, because they share the same toxic views. So I don't see any difference between them. Anti-SJWs and the Phantom Menace are the same thing, in my opinion. I don't see any difference, because they have the same worldviews. Guess. Hey guys, but Snoke will reveal we'll know his backstory. Finally, after fucking 4 years of speculating on who Snoke is, we'll finally learn who he is in this new comic. Isn't it great, guys? Isn't it great that we'll finally learn that Snoke... Wait, he's probably Darth Plagueis. That's what he probably is. At least that's what the fucking fanboys want him to be. Don't fucking make Snoke into Plagueis. Plagueis is too badass to be even related to Snoke. What, so we have fucking Plagueis be another boring human? He's a fucking mun. I don't fucking give a shit what anyone says. He's either a mun or he's nobody. We have too many fucking humans in this universe. Give us a fucking non-human character, please. Okay, I'm just mocking Snoke because he's such a joke as a character. I just made a joke about how the stupid theory is about Snoke being fucking Plagueis. Isn't it amazing how people who claim that he was originally going to be Plagueis don't know jack shit about Star Wars lore? All right. As this has been fun. Oh, I have. Those are fun. I talked about the video games earlier in this live stream. Yes. And even if they made Snoke into Plagueis, what would be the point in that? Considering he fucking died so damn easily by a fucking youngling. Wait, maybe Snoke was one of the younglings Anakin may have killed in the Jedi Temple. Maybe that's why he's such a fucking weakling or an idiot, because he never finished his training because he fucking left the Jedi Temple as a youngling. Who knows? Maybe I solved his fucking origin. He's that one fucking kid who fucking that you see before Anakin withdraws his lightsaber. Maybe Anakin fucking gave him a scar. As for his golden robe, who knows? Maybe he was a fucking porn star after he got that scar, because that was his only way he can get around. Who fucking knows? Okay, this is not a Disney bashing stream. It's just I'm just mocking. Snoke is like the most memed character for those who are Disney canon fans. Snoke, come on, you guys gotta admit, Snoke is a fucking meme at this point. He's a fucking meme. There's no way you could fucking, you know, you can't admit that he is a fucking meme, and it's funny making fun of him. The thing that sucks about Snoke, though, he was played by a great actor. Andy Serkis deserves better than fucking Snoke. He really did deserve better. I mean, they got the actor that fucking played Gollum from Lord of the Rings to fucking do Snoke, and he dies like a fucking bitch. Snoke was like, Andy Serkis is a great actor. He really is. It's like his role as Gollum and Caesar made him worthy of being part of Star Wars, and they wasted him. Of all the actors they've wasted in the sequels, it was him. He could have been the fucking. He could have been the next fucking Palpatine in terms of iconic status. He could have been. But no, they fucking killed him just like that. Because Rian Johnson wanted to subvert expectation. What a fucking waste of an actor. It really was a waste. He was a great actor. I cannot say it enough that his portrayal as Gollum and Caesar was amazing. Same thing with the actress that plays Captain Phasma. She's a good actor too, and she was wasted. It's like funny that all in the sequel trilogy, any good actor they got, they've wasted them all. They never used them to their full potential. I say blame both J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson because they both are equally to blame. Olipoff is fucking is something from a horror movie, in my opinion. She's fucking scary. Subvert expectations is a fucking meme. It's a joke. Subverting expectations does not fucking make it good. Can you imagine if Rian Johnson directed Lord of the Rings? You'd probably have Frodo fucking, die in the first movie. I wouldn't say she's more overrated than Boba Fett, because at least Boba Fett goes out like a bitch in Return of the Jedi. My favorite post Return of the Jedi villain. Oh, other than Thrawn, Darth Kaitis. Kylo Ren would probably fucking piss his pants if he ever saw Olaboff. Then again, Luke Skywalker was scared of Olaboff. Oh god. Olaboff would be great if they put her in a movie. If they want to do a Star Wars horror movie, she'd be perfect for that. And I'm trying to not to give out spoilers for Fate of the Jedi, but I'm just saying that Olaboff is scary. That when you have someone that's so fucking powerful and so scared that even makes a Grand Master shit his pants, you know that fucking person is a threat. At least the Hobbit trilogy could be saved with a simple edit. I just watched the Hobbit trilogy the other day, rewatched it again, done by someone that actually took the time to edit all the films into one, and it's called the Bilbo edition. So the movie focuses more on Bilbo. It's 4 hours long, but it's so good that cut that it turns 3 mediocre films into one really good one. It's the only way I would watch it at this point. If you're interested, after this, type The Hobbit, the Bilbo edition. It's the only way I recommend watching it at this point. Oh, I don't know. I'm probably going to wait till it gets cheap or something. I don't know. Yeah, they'll all die in the first 6 minutes of Infinity War. No, the Hobbit trilogy, what I was talking about, the only way I would recommend watching it is the Bilbo cut, which is a fan cut of the film, which removes like all the fucking unnecessary shit that was in the movie to form a more streamlined experience. Because I think the council scenes, the scenes with Gandalf going to Dumbledore was not necessary, and it completely took focus away from what The Hobbit is supposed to be about, and it's supposed to be about Bilbo's journey. What I think of the Wheel of Time character? It's so hard to pronounce her name. I know what you're talking about, Iron Inquisitor. I'm not going to butcher her name live. I think she's an interesting character. I can't comment how the fandom views her. I think out of Rand's love interest, I think she's the most interesting. And I feel like her relationship with Rand is more developed than, Elaine and Min. I think her, falling in love with him, it seemed to be more natural than the girls falling in love with him just cause. I think she's the most interesting of the three of girls that he falls in love with, in my opinion. Honestly, I can't comment what I think of her fully. At this point. I don't believe anything I hear George Lucas directing stuff on set. They did this in every fucking film since The Force Awakens. George Lucas visited a set of Rogue One, helped with a scene. George Lucas visited a set of fucking, what is it called? Solo for a scene. He's doing it for this movie. It's just bullshit. It's publicity. So if they fucking fail, they can blame George Lucas. It's bullshit. I don't believe it. I haven't seen Far From Home yet. I would like to see it though. I do intend to see it in the future. It's just I need I need time to be able to see it or a good place. Okay, I'm gonna answer some questions. My favorite Lord of the Rings characters. Um, I'm gonna for the sake of this podcast, I'm doing the movies because I'll review the books in about a week from now. My favorite characters: Aragorn, Frodo. No. Frodo's book Frodo. Is actually no movies. Aragorn, Sam, and Saruman are my favorite characters in the movies. I'm not. The books are different though. The Hobbit trilogy, I don't hate it either. It's just there's so much wasted potential that it's frustrating watching The Hobbit, knowing that there's a good movie buried in all this and all the crap that you need to edit all these unnecessary scenes out in order to make a good movie out of The Hobbit. Favorite hot Star Wars chick? That's favorite hot Star Wars chick, Padme. Yeah, I do agree with you, Iron Inquisitor. Like I said, I think they have a more believable relationship together than the other girls. Because unlike, yeah, how many times has he actually spent with the other girls? You know, in the series so far. Because I'm on book five. I just finished it. Oh, like he barely has any scenes with them compared to her. That's why I think I prefer them as a pairing over the other two. It's one of the things that changes. I wouldn't actually care if they changed actually because and I'm talking about in the show, but I don't want to give away spoilers for here for those who haven't read the book. Darth Nihilus is one. He's scary, but there's no he's nowhere near as scary as Olavoff. Olavoff makes him look like a youngling. Padme looks great in every fucking movie. Doesn't I don't care. She looks great in every film. Now, if I'm being shallow, it's because of her looks. If I talk about favorite female character, Mora Jade, no contest. Imagine if J.K. Rowling was involved in a Star Wars movie. I'm sorry, I had to make a joke because she doesn't shut the fuck up about what's canon in her series on her fucking Twitter feed. Oh yeah, been a pretty fun stream so far. I can't call my Normie Sunrider until I finish Tales of the Jedi. Best fights from the books and movies. Okay, I'll answer your question. Sub money. Best fight in the movie: Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Best fight in the books. Um, that that lightsaber duel between Darth Bane, Zana, and versus the remaining of the Army of the Light on on Typhon. It was so intense and so much could have gone wrong in that fight, and it was probably one of the most intense fights ever in the whole expanded universe. You do realize, random comic fan, there's a lot of fucking fan fiction that ships Obi-Wan and Anakin hard. Not joking. That does exist. Yeah, General, the Vision of the Future is nothing compared to the books I've been reading. Every Wheel of Time book is like 600 to 700 pages each, so that's nothing to me. I honestly, I think I think giving it a lower score because of its length is, I don't know if I can agree with that. A good book could be if it's could be good if it's long or not. Though I do think Vision of the Future, I think, didn't need to be as long as it was. I would admit that. Oh, that does exist. Have you not gone online? If it exists, there's ships of it. There's ships of Anakin and Obi-Wan. There's ships of Luke and Han. There's ships of Kylo Ren and Hux. There's ships of Finn and Poe. There's ships of fucking everything on fan fiction. There's even ships of Anakin and oh god, no, I don't even want to finish that sentence because that's creepy to me. I haven't watched play the LMO of SW Tour, so I cannot, comment. I think shipping Anakin and Obi-Wan is creepy, considering that their age gap, and not to mention that Obi-Wan is old enough to be Anakin's freaking father. I think it's creepy, in my opinion, to ship them. And it's even creepier when people ship Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, which is even creepier. I'm not saying this because I'm homophobic, but I think it's creepy. Shipping characters are old enough to be their fucking father. It just, I would feel the same way if it was the opposite sex. I just think it's creepy. Hey, the world of fan fiction, there's ships of everything. Jason is. I'm not a. I prefer Freddy over Jason, to be honest, because I think Freddy's scarier. Hmm. At least Vision of the Future is more interesting than The Last Eye. I've heard the Willow, novels were terrible. The sequels. At least that's what I've heard. Though I can't comment. Though I think Matt Wilkins will be able to give you more information. Freddy versus Jason was a guilty pleasure. I enjoyed it, even though I know it's bad. Yeah. Though, General, there are people that ship Luke with Kalissa. That does exist. Let's see what else that exists. Jesus. If you want your innocence to be completely destroyed, go on fan fiction. You'll find the lowest of the low in terms of fucking stories. But to be honest, I don't really care what people do on. If they want to ship someone with that's non-canon. Who gives a shit? They're not hurting anyone. I think those. I think crazies like Stephanie Genesek making a big deal over ships is ridiculous. Because I think shipping it's existed for so fucking long that I think complaining about shipping it's ridiculous unless that kind of ship is made canon. But still, I think the obsession over ships is ridiculous. Because let's be honest, shipping doesn't really mean anything outside the realm of fan fiction or fan art. It really doesn't, and I think those who complain about ships, to that extent, it's ridiculous and childish. Like, I can name a certain someone in the fandom menace who has 30 fucking videos bitching about Reylo. I hate Reylo as much as the next person, but I'm not going to dedicate fucking 30 fucking 20-minute videos on fucking Reylo. If Kylo Ren and Rey ends up together, who gives a shit? I really don't care at this point. I mean, the trilogy in my eyes is already a fanfic. I think having them end up together is, whether they end up together or not, it's not going to fucking do anything. I think shipping is like the stupidest thing to fucking spend like hours complaining about. I'm speaking as someone that's had experience with this in the anime fandom, where, oh god, you want to know a fucking fandom that takes shipping way too seriously? It's the fucking anime fandom. Like, let's say, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, using just a few examples, Gundam to some extent. There's so many fucking shipping wars that it's insane. And I think complaining about fucking ships is ridiculous at this point, considering it has existed for so many years now. That let people have their fun. If people want to ship fucking Kylo Ren with Rey, let them. It's their business what they do with their own fan fiction stories. Because after all, fan fiction, what's the harm on writing a fanfic? Oh wait, never mind. A Twilight fan fiction has a trilogy. Yeah, okay, maybe, but whatever. I think just let people have their fun. I can't really comment on the Underworld films, actually. So I'm just reading. Twilight is better than Reylo. That's probably not saying a lot. Twilight is so bad. Twilight is the only movie I've ever watched where I fell asleep. I'm not joking. I was so tired that I was bored. No joke. It was the first time in my life I was tired because I was bored. That's how bad Twilight was. If you want a good way to put me to sleep, just put in Twilight and force me to watch it, because I'll fucking be so bored that I'll take a nap. Of course, there's good and bad fan fiction. But I don't really read fan fiction that often anymore. If I do, it's usually short stories. "50 Shades of Grey is better than Reylo." Probably. Who fucking knows? Well, Reylo's a better love story than Twilight, at least in my opinion. Kylo Ren at least isn't a creep like Edward, who fucking goes to high school for so many goddamn times. And yeah, I think it's creepy. Edward's a fucking creep. That I don't think any parent would tolerate. He fucking stalks her. It's like, ugh, it's not fucking. I don't understand why women find that attractive. It's fucking creepy. Having a guy fucking stalk a fucking chick everywhere. Those people who say Star Wars and Star Trek sucks because it's for nerds are fucking assholes and should go fucking fuck themselves. Honestly, those are they can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. Honestly, Jesus, think it hasn't gone too off topic. It's been a strictly Star Wars topic. I wonder how many triggered as TCW fanboys because of my thumbnail of Meg being TCW and Peter, um, Lois, and I forgot one guy's name. Be all the other parts of the EU, Star Wars EU. It depends of what it is. Honestly, it really depends. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of it at this point, considering as someone that's in their early 30s, it's hard to relate to. It's almost impossible for me to relate to high school kids because I'm 31 and I would like more anime to focus on more on college students than high school students, and not to mention a lot of fucking harem anime is in that kind of setting, and it fucking pisses me off. I fucking hate harem anime because harem is fucking cancer, and it's the worst kind of fucking anime in my opinion. It just attracts like those kind of anime to me are fucking anime for fucking incels. Like if you still watch that shit like after high school, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. What do I think about Stargate? I can't come on any of them but Dune. I like the first book of Dune, but I can't come on the others. I can't tell you, General, without spoilers, what what my top 5 post Return of the Jedi stories would be. It would be spoilers. Unless you want me to spoil everything in the New Jedi Order, I can't tell you. No. I don't want anime ever going mainstream. I don't want anime ever going mainstream. In fact, I have a problem with the 2010s anime now because all it is just fucking and fucking fan service shit that fucking attracts like the fucking lowest ghouls possible and fucking incels who fucking, don't respect women or fucking the same kind of shit like the overabundance of shonen anime. It's like the 2010s to me has been a terrible decade for anime. The worst decade for anime. All it has devolved into is moe, fucking fan service. Ugh, I just can't stand it. This decade of anime. The only good thing about Star Wars Adventures is the animation being really good. They don't really serve a purpose. I don't know why they exist. I guess because Disney is afraid that children will lose interest in Star Wars because they can't get a child to sit through fucking a 2 hour movie that's like over 40 years old. Disney treats their fucking Disney treats kids like they're fucking idiots, and they're not idiots. Disney, doesn't give kids enough credits. Kids are much smarter than people give them credit for, and that's what pisses me off about Disney. Disney treats children like they're fucking morons. Same thing with Lucasfilm. Kids aren't stupid. You don't need to dumb down language or need to talk down on them. Honestly, children are not as I don't know. It pisses me off the mentality that corporations have towards children. They're not stupid. Ask me after this live stream's over at General CG. I don't know. because Star Wars is something that children of all ages were able to enjoy back, in the day, and it feels like ever since 2013, Star Wars just slowly transformed into something that it was never meant to be. It feels like Disney and Lucasfilm just treat children like they're idiots. In fact, they treat anyone and everyone like fucking idiots. That's why the fucking books have gotten worse. That's why the comics have gotten worse. That's why the movies have gotten worse. We can't have, you know, things that challenge our minds. We can't have fucking movies that fucking, something that's more in depth in terms of its story. People like to say that the new movies are too political. They're not. The originals and the prequels were political as well. The problem is the way they present, their political messages in the sequels and Solo and Rogue One is so clumsy, is so badly and done and disingenuous that it's not a genuine message. It's just dumbed down. Everything is just dumbed down. They treat everyone like they're idiots. Disney does. Then again, this would get into politics, which I'm just gonna end it right there, then and there. That Disney does not respect their audience at all. They've had that mentality for a long time that children are stupid. That's why they have movies the way they do, because they don't think children are intelligent enough to understand basic fucking things. Children are not fucking stupid. They're smart. Smarter than they give them credit for. That's what pisses me off about these companies. I can't comment on Tokyo Ghoul, Avalon, but I've heard. But I've heard the anime is shit compared to the manga. I don't really, I don't really consider them rewriting the originals because most people are not going to even watch them except on YouTube. The originals will always probably be recognized higher form of canon. That's not what I mean, General. The problem with the politics, how they're presented in the new movies, is it's done so clumsily and it's disingenuous. Like the original trilogy was a critique on U.S. foreign policy. Same thing with the prequels. If you paid attention, it's there of the dangers of what a corporation or the military industrial complex can do to a democracy. That's what the prequels was warning against, and the originals was showcasing, a struggling, rebel cell against an immense empire, which you can argue that the Galactic Empire is supposed to represent the United States and the UN. The sequel trilogy is so badly done, though, how they do stuff, that it's all over the place. Like The Last Jedi, what the fuck kind of message does it have? It has nothing. At one moment, it has anti-capitalism. On the second, it has freaking, anti, militarism. And the other, it has anti fucking. The Last Jedi is all over the place in terms of its themes. It doesn't know how to properly convey what the artist is trying to convey. It isn't conveying anything. It's not clear, and that's why the sequels are crap. Even they appear to be more political than the original six, but they're not more political. They're actually less political. Honestly, there's nothing really there in the sequels. The J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, what the fuck are they trying to tell their audience? What kind of message are they trying to convey? They aren't doing anything of the sort. It's clumsy. I mean, I don't think J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson are educated on politics. I think they're fucking idiots. I don't think they know anything about what's going on right now because they're out of touch liberals that don't understand, what's going on in the world. Unlike George Lucas, who actually understood politics, which is why I think the originals movies come off as more genuine because you had someone that was actually educated on it, unlike idiots like J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson who don't fucking know anything about politics. They're idiots. I cannot name one good Disney story in the 2010s except Wreck-It Ralph. But then again, that's Pixar. I can't comment. Oh, hold on. What do you think about the one political issue of the Republic comment? Oh, I thought it was well done. Actually, in that particular issue, it was showcasing the increased, how the government in the Republic was increasingly becoming authoritarian, and Bill Organa, realizes that the part that he played in this towards the end of the issue. It's been a while since I've read it, but I know what you're talking about. I gotta keep up with comics. Well, General, I had to talk about that when we were talking about the political message in the Star Wars movies because it's relevant, considering the fact that when the problem with political messages in these new films is you having people that aren't educated on politics putting them in there and not really understanding what the hell they're talking about. Honestly. Like, if you wanted to do an anti-capitalist message in a Star Wars movie, the best way to do it is to be educated on it. And Rian Johnson isn't. He's an idiot. Of course he was mean to Mark Hamill. I wouldn't put it past him. He's an asshole. To be honest, I've given up on the DCEU. It's so fucking bad. Politics are part of art, though, Submining. We can't completely eliminate it. It's going to be part of art regardless, whether we like it or not. The problem I have is how people that aren't educated on it, or you have out of touch liberals talking down on people. That's the problem with how they implement politics. Having politics, there's nothing wrong with having politics in the movies. It's having out of touch liberals basically lecturing people on how they should behave. I mean, abusing animals is definitely evil. We don't need to fucking be lectured on that unless you're a psychopath or whatever. You don't need to be lectured on that because it's common sense to think that that's evil. But when it comes to topics like income inequality and capitalism and the exploitation of children, Rian Johnson isn't qualified to freely talk about it because he isn't educated on it. He hasn't gone to the factories in Africa or Asia. He hasn't gone to any sweatshops and see what the conditions are really like. He hasn't even researched it. This is why it's disingenuous, because they don't know anything about it. Because they're comfortable, in their fucking mansions or whatever they live in. So, yeah, that's why it's disingenuous. The political messages in modern movies compared to what it was 30 years ago. Because movies have been dumbed down. They've been dumbed down continuously in the past, 19 years now. I mean, it'd be like doing a movie on critiquing religion without actually being educated on religion. It's like, it's the same thing at this point. If you're going to talk about politics, you got to be educated on it. You can't, there is no such thing as apolitical art, General CG. It doesn't exist. It never has existed. There is no such thing. All art is political. It's ludicrous to assume otherwise. Hold on, I'm just looking. I don't know what the fuck the politics of the Porg. I don't fucking know. Ask Rian Johnson. Like I told you, General. I'm just going to say this one last time. Rian Johnson is an idiot who isn't educated on anything. Honestly. He shouldn't be fucking talking about politics if he doesn't have any understanding of it. Like, if you're going to talk about war profiteering, you should be educated on fucking the workings of the military-industrial complex, the workings of capitalism and how it benefits the military-industrial complex, or how capitalism exploits, children in third world countries, or how capitalism, exploits animals. It's like, if you're not educated on this, you shouldn't be talking about it because you're a fucking idiot and you're coming off as disingenuous to someone who's actually educated on this. I think you were talking about Pong. Well, that's a game. Those are one of the rare exceptions. But there isn't any apolitical games other than that. No, I would not want to live in a mansion. Go, man. Oh god, this fucking question. Superman. Not even a contest. Unless you used a different version of Superman. I'm going by the current version. Still Superman. Yes, we should have our own books and comics. We should at this point. Because I think we need to show our inner artists in ourselves. Even if it isn't good, it'd be at least we're making an attempt. But the thing is, any form of art that we create ourselves, we always are going to incorporate our politics in there because that's just how it is. Otherwise, it's not art. Honestly. If you research J.R.R. Tolkien as an individual, there's a lot of political stuff in Lord of the Rings on what's on. That was, J.R.R. Tolkien coping with his trauma that he suffered in World War I. All of his experiences were like what we got in Middle Earth, that was, him coping with he had PTSD and it wasn't diagnosed until the 80s. Like example, there's an anti-industrialist theme to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And that's political. That's as political as you can get. There's a pro-Christianity, message into it because Tolkien was a Catholic. With the Undying Lands. It's like there are political messages in almost every form of art imaginable. And there's no way someone who creates a form of art is not going to have their politics in there. It's inevitable. Minecraft can have a political message. Minecraft, you can create whatever the hell you want in Minecraft. Honestly. I mean, if you could tell a story through Minecraft, I mean, that's been done multiple times. But yeah, but you're talking about Atari games, really, General. Most games do have politics in them. Even the ones that may not seem to have politics. To claim that nothing has politics, it's ridiculous. Only a small percentage of video games are apolitical. Honestly. And Pong, what the fuck can you tell through Pong? Back in the 70s, there was nothing you can really do in Pong. You can't really tell a story with Pong because of the limited graphics. Same thing with Tetris. Tetris, ugh. Those aren't fake feminists. I don't think that's what they're saying. The thing with, when it comes to women, feminists don't want women to stop being objectified in media, because they have been for generations, and I do believe there's some merit to it, that it does create misogyny in society when you're constantly when that's the main focus for a character. Honestly, I think I don't know. I'm not saying they're. I just think that not all their criticisms are invalid. I don't know about that. Honestly, Mario has some form of political too. There's just no such thing as apolitical art, really, general. I mean, everything has politics in there, some one way or another, even if it's small. I hated Megan Fox as April O'Neil. She doesn't look like the character. I never played Mario Paint. Honestly. I don't understand your question, Submoney. The issue with the anti-SJW movement, every time a woman brings up legitimate concerns, they shut it down. They shut her down, thinking that, oh, she's crazy. She's not. There is some legitimacy. I mean, the way women are depicted in a lot of media, they're not really portrayed as human beings. Most of the time, they're portrayed as sex objects, and that has a negative effect on young children. It's because those who are more right, who are going to lean more towards the right, who are going to see women as more like sex objects, or just a device to produce children rather than actual people. And art does influence the mind, and there's so many forms of art that are easily accessible now, that I do think that it's a legitimate concern by feminists to bring up that women are being objectified in every form of media too much. Video games, anime, especially anime. I think anime it's at its worst, in my opinion, on how women are objectified. Which is one of the reasons why I can't stand animes like high school, like whatever the hell you call that anime that's harem anime, because the way women are portrayed are not as freaking human beings. They're portrayed as as sex objects, just for incels to freaking masturbate to or something. Of course, there's bad women, good women. They should obviously. Alpha males are fucking idiots. Honestly, they're insecure about their own masculinity, and alpha males do not exist. It's a made-up concept that doesn't agree with actual science. It's stupid. It doesn't exist. The only kind of people that push this pseudo fucking scientific bullshit are people that aren't educated on the subject. There is no such thing as alpha males. the concept is stupid. Honestly. Like, attaching Luke Skywalker as an alpha male is stupid because he's not an alpha male because it doesn't exist. Or attaching Han Solo as an alpha male. He's not an alpha male because it doesn't exist. It's just fucking nonsense. What is my favorite Harry Potter? Are you referring to the books or the movies? I assume you're going by the books. I mean, movies. My favorite Harry Potter movie, that's a difficult one. The books, I'd probably say Goblet of Fire. I can't comment because I haven't seen them. Let's see, geez, it's almost been 2 hours since I've done this. Hopefully this isn't. I think I may have to end this soon because I'm gonna start going. I've been going off topic a little too much. Of course he is, but he's not an alpha male. Han Solo is anti-authority. Han Solo is fucking an anarchist. He's against any fucking form of government. And those idiots who label him as a libertarian are fucking morons. Han Solo is an anarchist. He hates all forms of government. He's not a capitalist. He's an anarchist. That's who Han Solo is. Honestly, I just view like alpha male as just a bunch of men that are not they're insecure about their own masculinity. Alpha male is nonsense. It doesn't exist. Honestly, I just want this anti-SJW shit to die so we could actually have a somewhat normal YouTube fucking site again. Yeah, but I'm going by in general. Han Solo was an anarchist. Honestly, if we want to really go where he would lie politically, he'd be an anarchist. Well, if I'm doing this for this long, General, it's going to happen. It's been mostly on Star Wars though. I mean, it is fucking 2 hours. Damn it! Where the fuck is my water? I need something to drink. Anti-SJWs are dangerous. And I'm just going to say this before we get back to Star Wars, and then I'll end this. Anti-SJWs are dangerous considering the fact that, the kind of views that they subscribe to are those that far-right reactionaries like the fascist bootlicker like Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro, and Steve Crowder subscribe to, and not to mention the kind of dangerous individuals that are also recommended by people like Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, Anna that Star Wars girl, Jesse Milestone. It's like all these kind of people, are dangerous because they're indoctrinating young people into the far right. And they're using Star Wars as a platform for that as well, which is another reason why I'm so heavily against the Phantom Menace. Primarily because they're using Star Wars to push far-right agendas. I'm not either SJW or anti-SJW. I think for one of the few occasions there can be a middle ground because I hate SJWs. But I hate them for different reasons than I hate anti-SJWs. I think SJWs are a bunch of whiny, entitled, people that don't know what it's truly like to be oppressed. That haven't actually ventured outside their echo chamber to actually see that part that they're playing in the oppression of minorities in society, and the part that they're playing in actually oppressing, the poor working class. So I think anti-SJWs, I just think they're fucking useless and, aren't doing anything to actually solve the problems with society. Anti-SJWs, I hate them a lot more considering the fact that they're dangerous and their ideas have gotten people killed, honestly. anti-SJWs can and will kill people if pushed hard enough, which is why I think they're far more dangerous. Because anti-SJWs, you know, eventually become open white supremacists, open fascists, open neo-Nazis. I've seen it happen. There's some people I used to know that became a fascist because of the Phantom Menace, which is why they're so dangerous, because they're indoctrinating, young people into being fascists. That's why we should, combat them. We shouldn't tolerate them. We should destroy these people until there's nothing left of the Phantom Menace, because they're using Star Wars, our, love for Star Wars. They're using Star Wars, the franchise that we grew up with, for their hateful platform. We cannot allow anyone, anyone to, tarnish Star Wars ever. If I met a pretty girl and I found out she was a Phantom Menace, what I would do, I wouldn't date her, period, if she was part of the Phantom Menace. Primarily because I don't date people that are sympathetic towards fascism or white supremacy. I'm sorry. I don't do that. Not that it would happen. My chances of meeting someone like that who's part of the Phantom Menace is like almost zero. No one outside the internet even knows who the Phantom Menace is, and that's probably a good thing. But I think it's important as Star Wars fans that we actually combat the Phantom Menace and to some extent work with the Disney fans to purge these people out of our fandom, because they will, make things worse for us. They are a bad image for, Star Wars. If I had 3 or 2 wishes, what would you say? I would get too political with these wishes, but for non-political purposes, I'll just do it this way. For my 3 wishes, I'd go back in time in 2010 and show George Lucas what Star Wars would become, and at least I would make a wish to go back in time. My second wish would be have Haven Blackman be, take over George Lucas in Lucasfilm. My third wish would be to wipe TCW from memory, so it would have never have existed. Those are my 3 wishes. At least if we're not going political, if we're just sticking strictly to Star Wars. What if it's revealed that Jar Jar Binks was the Sith Lord that the Jedi were looking for in Episode 9? What if that's revealed? Yeah, Lillian Chi and Hayden Blackman would be a great choice. But then again, we're in the worst timeline, unfortunately. Sorry, it's just for talking for 2 hours straight, I had to have some water. Darth Jar Jar's kind of hilarious at this point because I want it to happen because I just want all of the fucking prequel haters to lose their shit and fucking rage because they do Darth Jar Jar. Oh my god, I just want it to happen. I don't know if she'll survive. I don't really care if she survives in Episode 9. My boy Luke is gone. Yeah, the Phantom Menace already is falling apart, to be honest. I mean, they're becoming more and more radical at this point. Be honest, I'm so hateful towards the Phantom Menace that I want everything to come true. In fact, I want a fucking, I want, it's like, I'm going to use an example. I want every single character for fucking DC to be gay, just to spite those people. I want every Star Wars character to be fucking gay as well. I want fucking every Star Wars character to be replaced with fucking black gay people. That's how badly I fucking hate them. That's how much spite I have for them. That is just turn everyone gay in the Star Wars universe. It just anything to trigger these motherfuckers is what I want. I don't care anymore if they do it. I want them to do it. That's how much I hate the fandom menace. I want them to be so triggered by everything. Because anything that accelerates the death of their movement is what I will support. If they do something to a character, then go through with it. Beryl Larson? Have Beryl Larson be the heroine of the next fucking trilogy. Have Beryl Larson star in fucking Star Wars and direct. Have fucking that chick from freaking Bat fucking woman be in a Star Wars movie. Have that chick from freaking Terminator Dark Fate be in a Star Wars movie. Have the fucking cast and director of Ghostbusters 2016 be in the next Star Wars movie. We have fucking oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. How the fucking anti-Vic people fucking do a fucking Star Wars movie. Just anything to trigger these motherfuckers. Anything. It's entertainment to me at this point. That's how I feel about it. I know this is awful. I know these ideas are terrible, but you know what? I don't care. Anything to trigger these motherfuckers is fine by me. And who knows? Beryl Larson, may actually be a better fucking actress than Diz Ridley, because at least Beryl Larson doesn't stare off into space. She doesn't stare off into space. She does. At least Beryl Larson, at least she has some sort of acting ability. At least Beryl Larson doesn't sound like a robot. At least Beryl Larson could fucking at least her character is an obnoxious Mary Sue like Rey is. And at least Beryl Larson, I have no problem with her, to be honest with you. I really don't. To be honest. Considering at least she wasn't a, I'm not going to use the word, at least she wasn't like Diz Ridley regarding how people disliked her character. I haven't seen her fucking complain about people not liking Captain Marvel. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a video sometime. I don't know. Next time, I'm probably going to do multiple fucking responses in a row on multiple videos. One of them is going to be about a certain far-right Prager video, which if you're not into politics, I advise you don't watch my next video, because the next one's going to be heavily political. I'm going to as well. But anyway, guys, this is over. It was fun doing this stream, by the way. I loved it. It was a fun time. Yes, there's 100 videos on Captain Marvel. It's more like fucking 5,000 at this point. I don't know. I found it. I'm gonna be honest regarding Captain Marvel. I don't think it was that bad of a movie. I mean, a lot of the criticisms are overblown. It does have its problems. I think the movie could have been a lot better. And not to mention, the movie does kind of feel like a movie you can completely skip. Because in Avengers Endgame, Captain Marvel isn't even really in there that much. And I felt like they did a terrible job with Captain Marvel in Endgame. Because Captain Marvel, if you were to watch that as your first exposure, should come off as really stuck up. And it feels like the character from Captain Marvel and Endgame feel so different from each other that it's really jarring as fuck when you watch, Captain Marvel, then watch Endgame, because there isn't much continuity between Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. Honestly, they don't. That's just my complaint about Captain Marvel. Not to mention, Captain Marvel is kind of pointless. Well, I can understand why you prefer this over my political one. I understand that. I think my other live streams were better than this, to be honest. But whatever. I did a Star Wars video and I delivered. See you guys. As for you attacking the menace, I appreciate your honesty. It was okay. Anyway, guys, see you guys in the next video. Later.